Welcome to Unraveling the Tapestry of History. The history of Japan stretches back to ancient times, forming the foundation of its modern cultural traditions and national identity. Throughout these ancient periods, Japan witnessed a rich historical development spanning thousands of years. Muromachi period, 1333 to 1573. The Emperor Go-Daigo was able to restore imperial power in Kyōto and to overthrow the Kamakura Bakufu in 1333. However, the revival of the old imperial offices under the Kemmu Restoration, 1334, did not last for long because the old administration system was out of date and practice, and incompetent officials failed gaining the support of the powerful landowners. Ashikaga Takauji, once fighting for the emperor, now challenged the imperial court and succeeded in capturing Kyōto in 1336. Go-Daigo, consequently, fled to Yoshino in the south of Kyōto where he founded the southern court. At the same time, another emperor was appointed in Kyōto. This was possible because of a succession dispute that had been going on between two lines of the imperial family since the death of Emperor Go-Saga in 1272. In 1338 Takauji appointed himself shogun and established his government in Kyōto. The Muromachi district where the government buildings were located from 1378 gave the government and the historical period their names. Two imperial courts existed in Japan for over 50 years, the southern and northern courts. They fought many battles against each other. The northern court usually was in a more advantageous position, nevertheless, the south succeeded in capturing Kyōto several times for short time periods resulting in the destruction of the capital on a regular basis. The southern court finally gave in 1392, and the country became emperor-wise reunited again. During the era of Shogun Ashikaga Yoshimitsu, 1368–1408, the Muromachi Bakufu was able to control the central provinces, but gradually lost its influence over outer regions. Yoshimitsu established good trade relations with Ming China. Domestic production also increased through improvements in agriculture and the consequences of a new inheritance system. These economic changes resulted in the development of markets, several kinds of towns and new social classes. During the 15th and 16th centuries, the influence of the Ashikaga shoguns and the government in Kyōto declined to practically nothing. The political newcomers of the Muromachi period were members of land-owning, military families, samurai. By first cooperating and then surpassing provincial constables, a few of them achieved influence over whole provinces. Those new feudal lords were to be called daimyo. They exerted the actual control over the different parts of Japan, and continuously fought against each other for several decades during the complicated age of civil wars, sengoku jidai. Some of the most powerful lords were the Takeda, Yasuji, and Hojo in the east, and Aoki, Mori, and Hosokawa in the west. In 1542 the first Portuguese traders and Jesuit missionaries arrived in Kyushu, and introduced firearms and Christianity to Japan. The Jesuit Francis Xavier undertook a mission to Kyōto in 1549–50. Despite Buddhist opposition, most of the Western warlords welcomed Christianity because they were keen in trade with overseas nations mainly for military reasons. By the middle of the 16th century, several of the most powerful warlords were competing for control over the whole country. One of them was Ōnin Nobunaga. He made the first big steps towards unification of Japan by capturing Kyōto in 1568 and overthrowing the Muromachi Bakufu in 1573. Azuchi-Momoyama period, 1573–1603. Ōnin Nobunaga achieved control over the province of Owari, around the modern city of Nagoya, in 1559. As many other daimyo, he was keen in uniting Japan. Strategically favorably located, he succeeded in capturing the capital in 1568. After establishing himself in Kyōto, Nobunaga continued to eliminate his enemies. Among them were some militant Buddhist sects, especially the Iko sect, Pure Land sect, which had become very powerful in several provinces. Nobunaga destroyed the Inryakuji monastery near Kyōto completely in 1571. His fight against the Iko sect continued until 1580. Rather fortunate was Nobunaga concerning two of his most dangerous rivals in the east, Takeda Shingen and Yosuji Kenshin. Both of them died before they were able to confront Nobunaga. After Shingen's death, Nobunaga defeated the Takeda clan in the Battle of Nagashino, 1575, making use of modern warfare. In 1582, General Akaki murdered Nobunaga and captured his Azuchi castle. Toyotomi Hideyoshi, a general fighting for Nobunaga, reacted very quickly, defeated Akaki, and took over control. Hideyoshi continued to eliminate remaining rivals. He subdued the northern provinces and Shikoku in 1583 and Kyushu in 1587. After defeating the Hojo family in Odawara in 1590, Japan was finally reunited. In order to bring the country under absolute control, Hideyoshi destroyed many castles that were built throughout the country during the era of civil wars. In 1588 he confiscated the weapons of all the farmers and religious institutions in the sword hunt. He forbade the samurai to be active as farmers and forced them to move into the castle towns. A clear distinction between the social classes should increase the government's control over the people. In addition, a land survey was started in 1583, and a census carried out in 1590. In the same year, Hideyoshi's large castle, the Osaka Castle, was completed. In 1587, Hideyoshi issued an edict expelling Christian missionaries. Nevertheless, Franciscans were able to enter the country in 1593, and the Jesuits remained active in western Japan. In 1597 Hideyoshi intensified the persecution of Christian missionaries, forbade further conversions, and executed 26 Franciscans as a warning. Foreign traders and missionaries had acted aggressively and intolerant towards native Japanese institutions in an era when their fellow countrymen were conquering and colonizing other parts of the world in the name of Christianity. After uniting the country, Hideyoshi attempted to realize his rather megalomaniac dream of conquering China. In 1592, his armies invaded Korea and captured Seoul within a few weeks. However, they were pushed back again by Chinese and Korean forces in the following year. Hideyoshi stubbornly didn't give in until the final evacuation from Korea in 1598, the same year in which he died. Tokugawa Ieyasu, who had been an intelligent partner of Hideyoshi and Nobunaga, succeeded Hideyoshi as the most powerful man of Japan.